Hi, it's Disney Girl back for another episode of my Disney's Magic Kingdoms game. So guess what, guys? I got the MOANA update. Yay! So that is what we are going to be checking out in today's video together. So on April the 18th, guys, the limited time event for MOANA is officially going to be starting. So make sure you guys check your app store for that. It is available now for most platforms. But again, you have 2 days, so if it doesn't show up there, don't panic and just keep refreshing it every so often and it should appear there. Now, I love this photo that they actually did. It's really simple, but it's really perfect. I really love it. Now, one thing I want to point out though, in the background, if we actually look just above the castle, sort of in the sky there, we can see the stars are actually in the shape of Maui's hook, which is a really cool reference to the MOANA movie, and it is also a reference to the clues that we got last week when we weren't sure what the event was going to be. The stars were actually in the shape of Maui's hook, which was pretty cool. So I feel like that's sort of a fun little reference between the movie again and one of the clues that we had. So I have a little bit of a spoiler for you guys right now. If you guys don't like spoilers, I might skip a little bit ahead in the video here. So I actually have seen a photo that Disney Magic Kingdoms released of the page. Yes, the limited time event page, which is super duper important, and actually this tells us so much. It tells us the name of the event, Find the Way. It also tells us how long the event is. It's going to be 25 days and 1 hour, which makes sense. Most of the limited time events are somewhere between like 26 days in that range, so this is pretty standard for that. So this means that obviously it's going to finish off April in our kingdom and go into May, so we are going to be pretty busy for the next month for sure. So here we can see the actual order of the characters, and it gives us a pretty good idea too of the direction of the storyline. So the first character that we are going to be able to get into our kingdom right away is Grandma Tala. So Moana's grandma, and she is going to be a paid character. She is going to be 200 gems, but you don't have to collect anything for her. You can just purchase her that way, or for real money, there'll be a bundle, probably with currency, which is going to be super useful if you guys want to get a jump start on that currency, which is always really important at the start of the event. Now, the first character though that everybody, if you guys choose not to do the paid characters, the first character that everybody can get is going to be Cinna. So Cinna is going to be great. If you get Grandma Tala, she is actually going to be useful to help you collect for Cinna, so I do recommend getting her, but if you don't, again, it is still possible to complete the limited time event. So we're going to be starting the storyline with Cinna. I'm not sure how that's going to go with our second character because we've never ever heard any dialogue between these two, but it is between Cinna and Maui. So Maui is going to be the second character. Now, he won't be released for like 2 days or so after Cinna is released to us. It'll be a couple of days, and then we will get Maui, the demigod of the wind and sea, hero to hopefully all. Obviously, hopefully he is not responsible for Moana being missing at this point, because I'm pretty sure that is going to be sort of what's going on with this event. Obviously, Kakamora has probably got Moana, and we're going to have to try and get her back. So Maui is going to be the second character, which is going to be really awesome. It's pretty great that we get him really early on, so it means there's going to be loads of dialogue with him. Then the third character, or else the fourth character, depending on whether you get Grandma Tala there, is going to be Chief Tui. So this is Moana's dad. Cinna is the mom. Chief Tui is the dad. So we are getting Moana's dad after that. I'm sure he's not going to be too pleased about Moana being missing. So that dialogue is definitely going to be a lot of fun. Again, it'll be a couple of days though after we get Maui that we're going to be able to unlock him. Then after that, we go into our next paid character, which is Heihei. So Heihei is going to be released at the same time as Pua. So there's not going to be probably that much dialogue with Heihei, because obviously Heihei is, well, a chicken. So there's not going to be that much dialogue, but it should be pretty entertaining, a lot of the quests that Heihei does. And Heihei is going to be particularly useful for Moana herself, Maui, and obviously Moana's comfy cozy costume, which is at the very end of the event, which is obviously a little bit more stressful, less time. Like, you can't just gem your way through the event in one day and be done with it. Things are released to us a little bit slowly. We have to wait for those things. So the event is something you guys can't just finish again, like really quickly in one go. You guys kind of have to keep pace with the event. So I'm going to be helping you guys as much as possible throughout the event. I'll be having videos and live streams constantly, so you guys will be able to stay up to date and follow along if you guys want to complete the event. After we get Hey, obviously that means that we have got both paid characters if you guys choose to get them. Now, they're both going to be useful for different things, but again, I would really recommend getting Hey for sure, because again, the costume is very stressful at the end. Now, Hey is going to be a little more expensive. Hey is going to be 400 gems. Grammatala is going to be 200. So a little bit of a difference there. Now there will be a bundle for both, as I said, probably one with a concession and one with currency. It is possible they're both going to be with a concession though, but we'll have to sort of wait and see for that. Then after we get Hey, or don't get Hey, depends on what you guys want, is going to be Pua the pig. So he is going to be absolutely adorable, and I can't wait to have him in my kingdom. And then last but not least, MOANA herself. So once we get MOANA, we will unlock the comfy cozy costume, which is obviously pretty important. And again, we can't start collecting for that though until we get MOANA. So it's really important, guys, to make sure that if you have Hey or you're considering purchasing him, make sure you get him pretty early on once he is released to us. Just throwing it out there. My opinion, again, you don't have to buy him to finish the event, but it definitely does help. So that is the 7 characters for the limited time event. I'm really excited about this. The one character though that I was sort of secretly hoping for, obviously, was Tamatoa, who isn't here, but he is an attraction that we are going to see in just a few minutes here, because guess what, guys? It is time to open the game. So here we go. Wait a second, is this loading screen a little different than the image I showed you at the beginning? Because we can see Kakamora in the background on this one. That is really interesting. What? That is so funny. Okay, so 2 different images there a little bit, guys. Whoa! Oh my gosh, yes! Disney Magic Kingdoms just sent me 1,000 gems for the event. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thank you so much, Disney's Magic Kingdoms. So this is basically gonna guarantee, guys, that I buy everything with the event. So I, again, will be purchasing Grammatala and Hey, and also there's going to be an attraction that we can use or purchase for gems. So I'll be able to use all these gems pretty much up throughout the event. So yeah, wow, super excited. I can't believe it. I have 1,000 or over 1,000 gems now in my game. And you know what? Any extra gems is going to be going towards the Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs legendary chest. And I'm probably going to open some with real money as well, probably during a live stream. So guys, make sure to stay tuned for that. Now, I don't have Grumpy. I don't have the Evil Queen. Those characters are legendary, so they're going to be pretty hard to get. I also don't have Snow White's Scary Adventures attraction, which is kind of sad. But again, very useful, going to be really cool in my kingdom and sort of complete that Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs sort of collection that I've been working on since I basically started the game. So it'll be nice if I can try and finish off collecting all of those characters. So I'll try and use some of my gems for that, and also again, real money for sure. So we'll be getting one of those on Friday, and that's usually when the secondary storyline starts. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute here. Now, the Nightmare Before Christmas is currently in Legendary Chest for the next couple of days. So if you guys don't have all the characters for that and you kind of want to go a bit crazy on that collection because you love it, it is available now to get. Now, would I save my gems if I were you and your money for the event? I would say hell yes. But if you definitely want to sort of expand on your collections and stuff like that and get more magic into your kingdom and, you know, finish off collections and all that, and, you know, have a bit of a head start for when they're useful in the next tower challenge, then you know what? I would definitely consider opening a few of those. I've got all the characters and attractions though, so I don't really need anything else from those chests at the moment, until they add something, which is very possible later on. Kind of like what they did for Winnie the Pooh's Bumblebee costume. I was so upset that that was released to us after the Winnie the Pooh event, and yeah, I don't have it, so still working on that, and that is going to be pretty difficult to get for sure for me. But anyways, this video is not about Winnie the Pooh. This event is about MOANA. So we can see here at the bottom, it says new event coming soon, 1 day, 17 hours. So yeah, the countdown is officially on, guys. Yay! Oh my gosh. So before we get started and take a look at the Moana characters that way, I am going to bring back some of my dwarfs here. And again, they're going to be very useful for that secondary storyline, so I've been kind of working on leveling them up a bit. Bashful is now level 8. Oh gosh. So cute. So the secondary storyline, as I said, very important to try and level up your Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs characters if you have them. They are going to be useful, and it doesn't hurt to sort of have a collection that you work on the side besides the event characters. Sleepy is now level 8. Wow. Well, I'll be... He's asleep, guys. He's always asleep. You know what I think he's got? I think he's got chronic fatigue. Just throwing it out there, because I have never seen someone so sleepy, ever. So, obviously now we know Sleepy's an 8. I don't have Grumpy or the Evil Queen. Snow White right now is a level 9. I will not be leveling her up, though, to a 10, even if she does become ready during the event, because of her comfy costume isn't out in the game yet. Happy is an 8. He is actually ready to go. Oh my gosh, the apples. There's hardly anything to level them up. Wow, I really need to take advantage of this. There's so many with the other collections that you need to collect. With this, it's a joke. It's awesome. Take advantage of this, because I know they're going to change this at some point for sure. It's going to be nuts. And everybody's going to be going out on 1 hour quests. Now, I do have Doc at an 8. Sneezy is going to be an 8 in 15 minutes, so no big deal. Bashful is an 8 as well, so again, just sort of working on recollecting for them. So basically, I won't get everybody maxed out in this limited time event, which is what I normally do, but yeah, not going to happen just because I don't have 2 of the characters already, so yeah, we'll sort of talk about that though a little bit later on. So here is the first character that we can welcome into our kingdom, Grandma Tala. And as we can see in the background there, the stained glass is pretty fun. And I think it's actually the sun that's on Maui's tattoo. So that is actually pretty cool that they incorporated that in the background. And obviously the flying coconuts, I think it's a bit of a nice touch to that as well. So then after that, we are going to be getting Cinna, as I said. So here she is. She looks pretty happy there in the dark. Again, everybody's going to be in the shadows until the event starts, but then it's only going to be Cinna and Grandma Tala that are going to come out right away. Then we've got, Maui. He's huge. He's a big character in the kingdom. Look out, everybody. We've got a demigod. Is this going to be our first god? Well, not god, official god, but demigod. Closest thing to a god right now. Yep. That is going to be awesome. Oh my gosh, Hey is so small. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I had to click him right now. He's just was staring at me with his big eyes. He looks so lost right now. Like he's on Moana's boat. Okay, anyways, he's not the next character after Maui. That is going to be Chief Tui. So here he is in the shadows. He's got some pretty cool tattoos as well. Actually, almost everybody's got tats, which is kind of interesting. I don't think Moana has any on her, though. I don't think she actually does. At least they don't show that she does. Interesting. And then here is little Kua. Yay. Second last character that we'll be welcoming into the kingdom there. So cute. His little ears when he tilts his head. Aww. Hi, buddy. I'll be bringing you in soon. 20-some days. And here is Moana. Yeah. Yep, so no tats on her that we can see. Not yet, anyways. Even Grandma Tala has a tattoo on her back of a stingray. Super cool. Yeah, so there we go. We have got all the characters there. So that's the collection for the Moana event, guys. All ready to go. Now we'll take a look at the attractions, concessions, and decorations if they're showing here. So, here we go. Here are the 4 attractions. Ooh, ooh. So first is a homecoming celebration. So that takes 6 hours to construct, and every 8 hours we will be able to get 130 magic. Now, keep in mind during the event it will not be magic, it will be currency, and it will not be 130. It'll be less than that. So just keep that in mind, guys, that during the event it's a little bit different. Next is Moana's boat. Well, and the ocean. We have to keep in mind the ocean is pretty involved in this. And the construction time for this one is going to be 8 hours, and we are going to get 130 magic every 8 hours. Again, once the event is over. Kakamura's boat. Oh my god, that one's so cool. Construction time is 4 hours, and every 6 hours we'll be able to get 105 magic. Then Tamatoa's lair. Construction time instant, which means, guys, every 4 hours we're getting 115 magic, but the construction time being instant tells us that it is going to be the paid attraction. So I believe that should be about 150 gems on top of that. So yeah, that is probably the one I'm most excited about, to be honest. Second would definitely be Moana's boat. And now I'm looking for concession stands here. Now I've got a lot in storage, but here they are. Shell hat stand, the grilled pineapple stand, and the lei of flowers. Cool. We're actually missing an attraction here. We're missing Maui's hook, I believe, was one of them as well. So that's not there. But this shows us the magic that each of these can collect. So yeah. We're definitely missing at least one. I think it's 2, actually, concession stands that we're missing. Maui's hook. I can't think of what the other one was if it was there. But anyways, we can see most of them there. So that's okay. Now, decorations. Oh, we don't get to see the decorations. Okay. They're not in the shadows. Wonder why that is. I guess maybe they'll be in a chest or something, or only available once the event starts. We'll be able to see them in the featured section. All right, I'll explain that though, guys, once we get to that point when the event starts. I'll show you guys sort of what's in the event shop and everything like that. So don't panic, it's just not showing up right now. It will show up a little bit later on, and I'll walk you guys through all of that. So if you guys are new and unfamiliar with all of this, don't worry about it. Now here is the Moana parade float. Very, very simple, but pretty hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. And they made Hei's head so big, it definitely makes it amusing. And there is gonna be a coconut that, you know, pops on and off of his head, so that'll be really funny. So this is probably going to be available for like 50 gems or else a bundle. I'll probably buy the bundle for that one and not use the gems, just so that I can get a little bit of that extra currency. But we'll see, and we'll talk about it a little bit more once the event starts. And we know kind of how much the bundles are, and we get kind of a bit of a look at that. Now, again, if you guys want more information, you can actually go to Disney Magic Kingdom's Games Facebook page. You can also go to my blog, and I've actually posted all the stuff for the update there as well. So if you want any additional information on the limited time event, you are going to be able to find it there. So we have 2 costumes for Moana, her classic costume, which she comes with, and then obviously Moana's comfy costume. So yeah, Moana's face is really different, I find, with that costume, but I definitely love her tank top. So cool. Hashtag shiny. Hashtag I need one. Like, no. And it would be perfect for summer. Actually, I went to the Disney store to see if they had one of them so I could wear it during my live stream, but they didn't have it, so I was a little bit disappointed. Actually, they don't have anything comfy cozy there right now, which is a little bit sad, but that's okay. So I think, guys, that is basically everything that I can think of from the new update, at least that's sort of in the shadows at this point. So yeah, pretty awesome. Now, I have brought in Shere Khan recently, so I'm actually still working on collecting his ears hat for that, which is ridiculous. It's actually been harder to collect that than it was his ears hats when I was collecting to actually welcome him. I don't know why the drop rate has been absolutely horrible. I know my happiness right now is a little bit low, but it's still an ecstatic, so the drop rate should be a little bit better. But that is definitely bound to happen at this point. I'm still collecting Wendy's ears hats. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring her in before the event, but it definitely is a possibility. But again, I try and pause my main storyline during limited time events just because there's so much going on and stuff like that, but we'll see. Now, the one thing though I do want to talk to you guys about is sort of getting your kingdom sort of ready for this event. Now, this is going to be particularly helpful for you newer players. You guys are going to need to clear out a spot of land. Now, you don't have to do it right away, but sort of keep in mind every time something is released that you're going to definitely at least need to have one spot for relatively, I'd say, big attraction. You need to make sure you've got room and it doesn't slow down your event and stuff like that. Because if you've got characters inside attractions, you can't remove them. And when you have a smaller kingdom, you know, that means that things are a little bit limited on choices, what you can remove and stuff like that. So just make sure, guys, that, you know, you've got a little slot of land open to you, or at least a spot to put one of the attractions and stuff. I also make sure I leave room for concession stands because, again, that definitely helps with currency and stuff. So I try and make sure I get one of those into my kingdom relatively quickly. You can buy as many as you want, but they, you know, are going to be gems or else real money for that. So you guys kind of have to pick and choose. Now, I haven't freed up any land at the moment, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm trying to be efficient with my magic and stuff like that, but that is definitely something I'm going to be doing leading up to the event. So that is going to be really awesome. My kingdom's pretty big now, so that definitely helps with my choices. I'll probably just remove something that I'm not using right now. Now, one thing that I always talk about before events start, doesn't matter what it is, or if you're collecting magic or, you know, whatever you're trying to do to get ahead in the game, keep your happiness in ecstatic. Please, please, please. If you guys need to, get Merlin to help you out with that happiness, especially if you haven't played your game maybe in a while or you're new to the game. Use a safeguard. That really helps. It's actually really cheap now. It's only 350 elixirs. Also, too, you guys can obviously try and boost your happiness. Now, that's for gems, so that, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Obviously, some people are more protective of their gems than others, but you can use gems to increase the happiness in your kingdom, and definitely worth it once the event starts. So you have the option to protect your happiness and get it to a certain point, which, again, I recommend right away, like do it right now. But if you don't, then you have to have that sort of in place once the event starts. I feel like that's something that you don't really have an option with if you want to get good drop rates for the characters and stuff like that. If you're not getting good drop rates, that is like 90% of the reason why you would not be having good drop rates. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Make sure you guys get at least one concession stand early on. That way you guys can start getting some currency right off the bat. And two, we're going to be getting some characters in the kingdom that are going to be mostly sort of on, like, I call it currency duty. They're going to basically just be going out and collecting currency to help out with the event. So usually that's like Toy Story characters, so make sure they're not doing anything once the event starts. You know, again, like if you send them out in the morning for 12 hours or something, that's not going to be very helpful for you guys getting that currency that you need early on to get those characters into your kingdom. So again, there are quite a few things that you guys are going to have to be thinking about leading up to the event. But again, don't worry, we're going to recap everything during my live stream. And if I do another DMK video before the event, if you guys feel like you want me to go into more detail on, you know, preparing your kingdom and stuff like that, I can totally talk in more detail about that. But I feel like there's still a lot of people out there that know a lot of this stuff already. But if you are a beginner and you would definitely like some help with preparing your kingdom for these events, or maybe you're just somebody that hasn't really been into events but you love the Moana collection and you want to get them, you know what? I will help you in every way that I can. Obviously, if you guys have any questions, I try and get back to you guys ASAP on those. The best time usually to ask them is during live streams, but I mean, you guys can totally leave them in the comments. People are usually pretty good at answering them as well, if I don't get around to it fast enough. So again, feel free to just sort of put any questions there. If you guys, again, want a sort of getting your kingdom ready for the limited time event, I can definitely do one of those if you guys would find that helpful. And yeah, so basically I think that's pretty good. Save your gems, open your land, make sure your characters are ready and not, you know, busy on the day of the event. Get a concession stand early on, invest in the paid characters if you guys want that extra currency and stuff like that. And again, make sure too, guys, if you are like super new, that you have the pirate costume for Mickey, because that is going to be something that sort of unlocks the whole entire event for you. So if you are starting on the day of the event, you will not be able to get it right away. You will have to sort of gradually sort of work through your kingdom in order to unlock it. So just something to keep in mind if you guys are like, oh, I'm not gonna start my game until the actual event starts. You can't really do that. You better start it now, because it is going to take a couple of days to get Mickey's pirate costume and get sort of sorted with that. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful and you liked sort of getting a look at all of the brand new characters and stuff like that in the order that we're going to be getting them in. I think it's actually super useful that we got that one image at the beginning, so we kind of at least know the order of the characters and we can get a pretty good idea about what the storyline is about. So again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to give it a big Mickey thumbs up. Also, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that little bell for post notifications. And don't go away, because at the very end of the video, I'm also going to be leaving a link to my other channel that you guys can check out, especially if you love Harry Potter. There's lots of Harry Potter stuff to come on that one. So make sure you guys head over there and subscribe as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next Disney's Magic Kingdoms game video. Bye!